Hello everyone and welcome back for a new Stratego game video. So today I want to continue with the tutorial of Stratego for beginners and to talk a bit about some special rules which you need to understand to grow quite high in the Stratego skill level. I also want to talk about a few strategies and some openings that you can find. Not that the openings are so much important than in chess, but still I think it's nice to discuss about them. So I will use the Stratego board editor so that it's easier to make things understandable. Alright, so let's imagine we are in this situation and we want to know, as red, how we can defend the flag. Imagine it's up to us to play, so we can easily get a draw if, for example, our marshal moves here and then he goes around the lake and the miner is blocked. That's the basic rule. Now let's suppose that for some reason, I don't know, the blue has 4 bombs like this and he is blocked, right? Okay, so how can blue now win to take the flag? So we are back here with our marshal. Well, there are two options. Let's say now that it is up to blue to move. The best move for blue is to move from here and go here. In fact, I told you, but actually you didn't see it much in the previous video, the 3 squares rules. What does it mean? It means that the marshal is forced to, if the marshal was going to go here, up, right? Well, the miner would go straight on and take the bomb and then the flag, and the red would lose. So that's for sure not an option. So the best option for the marshal is to move here and attack. Alright, so now, what is the best option? What is the best option for blue? Well, blue wants to move actually on the left, right? And they go here. And the game could continue for eternity, left, right, left, right, left, right. So the rule states that one piece can only go 3 consecutive times on the same 2 squares. So the marshal moved 1 time on the right. The miner moved 1 time on the left. Okay, so we can have a second step. So the marshal comes back on the left. That makes 2 for him. So the miner decides to come back on the right. So that's also 2 for him. And then we do it a third time. So the marshal go another time on the right. He comes here, and the miner go a third time on the left. Alright, now the marshal can't come anymore on the left, and he is forced either to go up, but we saw that it is not an option, so he will most likely go down. Okay, so the marshal goes down. Okay, and of course the miner will also come down, so we will have a miner here. Alright, and the situation will repeat again and again and again until the marshal will finally arrive here. The miner will be here, and of course the marshal will be forced either to go on the right, either to go up, and the miner takes the flag. So what you need to understand here is that when you fear a piece, the best thing that you can do is to stay diagonal to that piece, so you have the advantage of the 3 squares rule, and your opponent is forced to make the first step. So this is why at the real beginning of the game, so let's remove this, let's say that we have 2 pieces here, and that, I don't know, I have major here. I fear this piece. The best option is not to retreat, because, well, let's suppose we are like this. Okay, so the best option is not to retreat, because if I retreat, so I go down with my major. Okay, well, this piece can easily come down and will have the advantage of the 3 squares rules on us, because we will have to make the first step and he will come back. So the best option in this case is just to move the major here. So if the piece blue comes down here, well, you are protected because she will have to make the first step. And this is of course admitting that you do not fear this piece here. Right, this is a first thing to understand for the 3 squares rules. Now, there is a way to escape the 3 squares rules if you are in a bad position. Let's say we are in this position. No, that doesn't work, sorry. Hopla. Let's say we are in this position. Okay. And that for some reason, I don't know, you have your general here and the opponent's marshal is coming right there. Right? If you were moving left and right and left and right, your general would be dead because of the 3 squares rules, right? But here you have 2 spots actually where you can go, on the right and on the left. So what you can do actually is to put your general one time here, then you come back here, then you go on the right, then you come back in the center, then you go on the right, and so on. And in this case, it is the blue marshal who will have to stop after 3 times. So that's the, I don't know actually the real name of this rule, but I've called it the system to escape 3 squares rules, and it is a good defensive position. Okay, so this is one thing. Now, also one thing which is important to understand is how to capture a piece when you have 2 major pieces advantage. So let's say we have our captain here, and I will remove this, right? And we have a blue major here, so the captain is blocked, right, because of the 3 squares rules, and the major alone can't capture it because of the 3 squares rules. So let's suppose now we have the marshal coming here. Well, let's say, I don't know, that for some reason the marshal now is coming on the left, right? Well, the best option then is to have the marshal coming here and coming down, and when you have this situation, of course the captain is dead. So that's just the basic technique to capture a piece, is having this structure with 2 pieces and the one you want to capture in the middle. And this is extremely important when you start a game, and let's suppose you do not know the 2 blue pieces, right? You can actually bluff one of these 2, and the red captain is forced to have a 50-50 situation, and most of the time, I mean 50% of the time, you can get this piece, and it's pretty much good because you have bluffed and he still doesn't know one of the 2 pieces. So that's also another position. Right. Now, I wanted also to talk a bit about the openings, and I'm just making a small disclaimer. I will give some names to the openings, but actually there are no official names for opening, like there would be for chess. For example, you have I think the Sicilian opening, you have the French opening, and so on. Here in Stratego, basically there is no name for them, also because they are not really needed. However, I think there are a few interesting things to note. So I took the freedom to give name for openings, but of course I'm no one to say it is actually true. But let's say that my names are correct for this video at least. So the first thing I wanted to discuss about is the how we say is the Greek opening. So usually, let's say, oh, actually I'm missing the side, so sorry. So here, let's say we are, as red, we are Greek. Well, most of the Greek will use a colonel, so number 8, to push, and sometimes with number 6, and then have some smaller pieces to attack with. So you can have, for example, a 2, I don't know, a number 4, and why not, I don't know, a number 6, a number 5, and something like this, right? So as blue we are here, all right. So the Greek will open. Oh, come on. So usually you will have the opening with a classic piece attacking, and here you have now as blue the option of reaction. So you can have two options, which is the frontal reaction. So actually you would move right straight on this piece, so quite frontal, and actually, well, now it's 8, so it's a colonel, so usually he would either attack, either go on the sides to take two pieces here. But if it was a weaker pieces, most likely he would be forced to either defend to keep the position, either retreat, and you can make some pressure. So that's the option. Otherwise, you have what I call the defensive reaction. So actually, you would move this piece here. So you are in diagonal. Come on. You are in diagonal, and actually with this colonel, if you have a good piece here, the colonel can't take it, and there is a 3 squares rules advantage for blue. Now, let's suppose you are not willing to play on this side as blue, so you are playing on the other side. Well, the Greeks usually will come and push, and in the end will come with all their pieces right here, so they will also move their scouts and so on. So let's say they have something like this, and they will put all the pieces to make a lot of pressure, and then they will slowly attack on this side. That's, yes, a very pressuring opening, which I personally do not like, because if this piece is found, then it is very hard for the 3 squares rules to go away from this situation. However, it makes a lot of pressure, and you're definitely not willing to attack on this side anymore. That's one thing. Now there is also another opening, so I've again taken the freedom to call it the Dutch opening, because Jelko loves this opening a lot. But again, it's not an official name. So what is the idea? In this case, the idea is to reach the 4th row on the side from your opponent, and then attack from the back row, actually, where you most likely would find the flag. So in most of the game, people will attack in the first 2 rows, take what they can, and then slowly attack on the last 2 rows. But sometimes it is interesting to force on the side until the back row. So what is the idea in this case? You have a strong piece which will come like here, or actually, let's say even we have the marshal here, and some smaller weaker pieces which will come and slowly advance here. Oh god. Slowly advance here until they reach the back row, and then we will have a minor coming and slowly attacking the bombs here, and so on. So that's the idea, and the strong piece is just here to block any defense, and if there is a bomb here, for example, it will be difficult then for blue to answer to this attack, and they will be forced to try to attack, and usually you just need to put, I don't know, a bomb here, and it is a very blocking situation for the opponent, who will not risk to go on unmoved pieces. Right, so these are 2 openings which I wanted to discuss with you. Yeah, that's it. What else? I think it's most likely everything. Oh yeah, I just wanted also to mention a few things, which I think I didn't mention well in the previous video. So one thing is not to reveal high pieces too early, and this is actually very important, because you have to think, it's not because, for example, if you know there is a major here, you don't need to absolutely do anything you can to capture it, because then, okay, you take the major, but your colonel or general or whatever it is will be revealed. And that's very important, because when it is revealed, you will have to retreat and defend it, and by defending it, you will have to cover it with a certain piece and reveal a lot of your setup to your opponent, and actually sacrifice a lot of small pieces to discover his strong pieces. And most likely a good player will not come directly with strong pieces, but he will bluff a bit before. So take really care about revealing your high pieces. Do it really when you can do it, and sometimes you just need to realize that not taking a piece, even if you can, is the key to the victory. This said, I think I did anything I could for this small video. I hope you liked it. I got a lot of good feedbacks from my previous video, so thank you to all of those who have mentioned it. And hopefully this video will be useful. So you can note also that I tried now to discuss with the name of the ranking of the pieces and not numbers, because actually there is an American version where the numbers are inverted, and people told me that it is better to talk with name of the pieces, which are the same in both cases. So this said, I wish you a nice day and nice games, and see you soon for the next video. Thank you very much.